Don't get me wrong.
Surveillance footage obtained exclusively by Fox 5. You see her stop as her dog sniffs a wall. A man dressed in black walks past her. Her back is to him. He turns around, heads towards her, punches her so hard she's knocked off her feet. We intentionally pause the video before the punch lands.
When he knocked me, I hit my nose here and then I fell down.
In the video, you can see her attacker calmly walking off. Her dog tries to comfort her. Passers-by rush to help her. She's laying still on the sidewalk. You don't look like you were going to get up when I saw that video. But here you are.
Because I didn't want to see the tape. And maybe because I feel so lucky, because he could have had a knife, right?
She suffered a concussion and doesn't remember much of the attack, but it has now been added to a growing pile of NYPD data showing misdemeanor assaults up 9% from this time last year and up nearly 15% over the past 2 years. You can hear the stories of women randomly punched on social media.
I just got punched in the face walking home. Oh my God, it hurts so bad. I can't even talk.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the TikToks were fake. At least one of them that I covered that I can remember. But this punch is not fake. Why is this happening? I have no freaking idea. But people say it's close to a migrant shelter, so they want to blame certain people. I'm not saying it's them, but then again, crime did go up. And that was the most recent change that we can point a finger that we should investigate. Because even if it's not, it's still a hate crime against white people.
Hey, so I'm going to ask you to keep them inside.
For what reason?
So I am the president of the POA. I've had numerous people complaining about a noise complaint. Numerous.
They're being kids.
I mean, I have like almost 10 houses now have contacted me.
Okay.
I hate this job.
Obviously you don't, because you're still doing it.
Well, but then they're like barking at me and running. And
They're doing kid stuff. They're kids. That's what's wrong with this world, because people like you and those other people don't let kids be kids, okay?
I know. I have
So we
kids
appreciate you
and I
stopping by.
understand.
We appreciate you stopping by. Have a nice night.
And that is why we need fathers at home. Very simple.
10 medidas para acabar con el terror islamista de los falsos refugiados que han matado en Solingen, en Mannheim o en Algeciras. Primera, que ustedes pidan perdón y se vayan a casa. Segunda, no mentir. La inmigración masiva, ilegal e indiscriminada no es ni buena ni inevitable. Es un crimen y un peligro para la supervivencia de Europa. Tercero, lancemos un mensaje al mundo. Digamos, Europa va a dejar de ser el paraíso de los falsos refugiados. Ningún extranjero que entre ilegalmente en Europa obtendrá jamás ayudas sociales, ni permiso de residencia, ni asilo, ni protección. Vuestra protección es nuestra ley. Si incumplís nuestra ley, no tenéis protección. Cuarto, combatir con todos los medios a nuestro alcance las mafias de tráfico de personas, poniendo fin al esclavismo. Combatamos con todos nuestros medios. Entremos en sus casas, asaltemos sus embarcaciones, los detenemos y los metemos en la cárcel. Y también aquellas ONGs que colaboran yendo con grandes barcos pagados con fondos públicos a las costas del tercer estado para traerlos a nuestros puertos. Quinto, pongamos en marcha el mayor plan de deportación que haya conocido la historia. Sexto, suspender la ayuda de terceros países que no controlan su inmigración. No conceder jamás la nacionalidad a nadie que haya entrado ilegalmente en territorio europeo. Control y cierre inmediato de las mezquitas salafistas y wahabistas donde se promueven expresiones contrarias a Occidente. Cambiemos el régimen de asilo y, por último, exijamos a todos los medios de comunicación que indiquen el origen y la identidad de los agresores, bajo pena de no recibir subvención pública, para que Jovenlandia deje de ser un país. Stop invasión.
Ladies and gentlemen, if my bathtub is overflowing with water, I don't care if you bring a mop or a bucket. Stop the water, close the drain. Then we can talk about how we will solve the issue. And the fact that you didn't do that, way more people try to talk to you. They try to add more opinions, more suggestions, and that there's a point somebody's like, yo, we're just gonna do whatever we want. And they're already at the suggestion that you never wanted, because you never tried to agree at the middle ground.
And boosting Trump back in 2016. But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrent.
Hillary Clinton suggests jailing Americans for posting misinformation. There needs to be a deterrence. That's a very beautiful wife. We need a deterrence in this relationship.
Yep.
And for the people that don't know what deterrence means, the action of discouraging an action or event through instilling doubt or fear of the consequence.
I don't feel safe.
Confirmed.
That sounds so horrible in a very political way. Just saying.
You have people like Bill Gates saying that planting trees to deal with carbon is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous way to do it. Like, how is that ridiculous? They literally turn carbon dioxide into oxygen. It is their food. That's what the food of plants is. That's what powers the whole plant life and the way we have the symbiotic relationship with them. Like, and the more carbon dioxide is, the greener it is, which is why it's greener today on Earth than it has been in 100 years.
Sure.
These are all facts that are inconvenient to people that have a very specific, narrow window of how to approach this.
And before you tell me that is nonsense, he never said that.
I don't plant trees.
There's a lot of people who are very enamored with trees. We've got trees on this stage. Some people would even say that if you just planted enough trees, it could take care of the climate issue altogether.
And that's complete nonsense.
Okay.
I mean, are we the science people or are we the idiots? Which one do we want to be?
Are you the science people? I thought you just fixed computers. But okay.
What's your best relationship advice?
Marry someone who has the attitude that everything is work-outable. Like if there's a flag, if there's a tension there, something that makes you uncomfortable, those are things to note, but not necessarily run from. So that's an opportunity to kind of press in and explore and see what happens. Instead of making assumptions, instead of running, ask questions.
What do you mean by that, or what's really going on underneath?
Yes, what do you mean by that? That's a great question to ask.
That's something we've been practicing for a long time. Instead of making statements, we ask questions.
Because it may not be what you think it is.
There were times when I didn't think we would make it 30 years, but we kept pushing through, and we did. We're more in love now after 30 years than when we started.
Sometimes it's hard, but it's totally worth it.
Well, where I'm from, that's called slavery.
You can only do that if you love the other person more than yourself. But then again, you will always meet somebody that says, hey man, that's slavery. I had a bad experience. I've seen so many had a bad experience, and you're just freaking lucky. So I'm going to suggest everybody to not do what you did, but do what I did. Because too many people keep telling me, I'm lucky. But when I tell them what they did, oh, that's slavery 2024. We have choices. I'm like, okay.
Hey, how can I help you? Yeah.
How are you?
Who are you?
I'm Agent O'Donnell with the FBI.
Can you give your full name, please?
I'm Agent O'Donnell with the FBI.
Is that sufficient to identify as only one O'Donnell affiliated with the FBI?
In New Hampshire, yes.
Could you please state your full name, sir?
Could you please stop recording?
No. It's First Amendment right.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
Could you stop recording, please?
Absolutely not. You can show me your name and identification, or I'm going to go back inside my house.
Okay. I don't really want to broadcast my...
Oh, this is going out right after you guys walk away.
So that's why I'm not going to...
So you can show me your name or ID, you can walk away.
We just want to talk to you.
I'm not going to talk to people who claim to be federal agents unless they can show me identification.
Okay, well, you see our badges.
I need to see... Is your full name on that badge?
No.
I'd like to see something with your full name or I'm not going to talk to you.
I prefer you not to broadcast it.
This will be going online as soon as you walk away.
Well, all I want to do is talk to you about a post that was made, and if you happen to be the one that made it.
They want to make United States UK. UK is just a testing ground. They're already sending people for memes for more than 2 years to prison on Facebook. I'm like, yo, chill, America. If you normalize that, well, you don't want to know. I would go to prison.
I want to talk to you about you guys coming here. Say you make a salary of, I don't know what, low 100K? You guys making six figures? Factor in 50% expenses, overhead, maybe 100% expenses. Talking about burning a couple $100s an hour just here, let alone all the time you guys are spending to investigate something that you know is not against the law, right? Like you're familiar with. So then why would you come?
Because we wanted to make sure that there weren't any.
No, you're coming because you're part of a regime that does this kind of thing when you know laws aren't being broken, and that's an embarrassment, man. Didn't you guys read the Constitution? Do you not believe in America? Like, how do you do your jobs and go home?
We appreciate it.
You're walking away. Because nothing we did is against the law, and you guys are fuckheads that try to act like bullies. And I hope you go home and are embarrassed. You can't even say your name on camera because you know that what you're doing is embarrassing. You know Americans that believe in the Constitution think you're laughable. And you go home and you think about what you did today. Go home and think about it, you cowards. Drive away. Drive away.
Thank you for your time.
You're not welcome. You should be embarrassed. Embarrassing. You guys are embarrassing.
You have to be very careful because maybe just showing your middle finger, oh, you're inciting violence. You recorded the thing of the court, that's inciting future violence. I'm like, what can you do? And the fact that they can't even identify themselves, maybe one day like, I don't dare to identify myself because you're inside, bruh. Nothing surprises me anymore these days, even if it's extreme. What's happening now, I never expected it either.
2 days since somebody allegedly tried to kill Donald Trump again. And you're here at the podium in the White House briefing room calling him a threat. How many more assassination attempts on Donald Trump until the president and the vice president and you pick a different word to describe Trump other than threat?
If anything from this administration, I actually completely disagree with the premise of your question, the question that you're asking. It is also incredibly dangerous in the way that you're asking it because American people are watching. And to say that from an administration who has consistently condemned political violence, from an administration where the president called the former president and was thankful, grateful that he was okay, from an administration who has called out January 6th, called out the attack of Paul Pelosi, called out and said we need to lower the temperature after the Butler incident. And now for you to make that kind of comment in your question, because your question involved a comment and a statement, you know, it is, that is also incredibly dangerous.
One day, your middle finger is going to be a threat.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk. Criollo colombici jam jam. Dur loqueta verdeta welcome.